In the Module 3, Lesson 4 problem set, we are going to go back to unit numbers, which is something that we miss, I know. Realistically, we are going to separate a number from its place value to assist us with our multiplication. So as we can see from the example, in the problem 5 times 10, we do know the answer is 50. But we can look at it as 5 ones times 10, or 5 tens. And what you see here is we have our initial 5, we multiply it by 10, which takes all of those 5s and bumps it up into the 10s, making it 5 tens. In our next problem, we're going to draw it, then work our way through. So we know we have 5. And when we break 100 into 10 times 10, we know that we take these amounts and multiply them by 10. Check. So now I have 5 tens. But I also know that I have to multiply these 5 again by 10, and that would then be 5 in the hundreds. So 5 ones times 100 equals 5 hundreds. In other words, 500 is our answer. As we move on down, the same type scenario, 5 times 1,000, would be 10 times 10 times 10. So this times 10. Check. Then I have to multiply it again times 10. Check. And multiply it again by 10. Which means we have 5 thousands. When we write that number in standard form, it would be 5,000. And multiplying by base 10 is fairly easy. It's not a super complicated issue, but we will have more practice on here. So 6 times 10 is equal to 60. One thing I like to think is 6 times 1 is 6, and then add the 0. What times 6 got us to 600? Well, 1 times 6 would give us 6, and we have 2 zeros there, so we know it's 100 times 6. In this case, 6,000 times equals what times 1,000? It would be 6. Looking down here, 1 times 9 is 9, add the 3 zeros, so 1,000 times 9 is 9,000. 10 times 9, 90. 900 equals what times 100? That would be 9. We have a few more problems like this. Let's look at, say, this problem right here. So if we had 18, I know that I have 1 10 and 8 ones. In this case, I'm going to bump it to the hundreds place. So that means that this needs to bump to the tens. This needs to bump to the hundreds. Check. But I have another times 10. So this 8 has to bump. And this has to bump. So I'm left with 110, 8 ones times 100, which would give me 1,800. Now, the easiest way to do this, in my opinion, is to take that 18 times 1 and then add those 2 zeros, giving you the same answer. We just have a little bit more practice, but without our place value chart here. So in this problem, it says 3 times 40 is the same thing as 3 times 4 times 10, and that's just the decomposition. If I combine my two factors, 3 times 4 is equal to 12, and we have yet to touch this 10, so 12 times 10 is 120. Looking here, 4 times 4,000. That's the same thing as 4 times 4 times 1,000. 4 times 4 would be 16 times 1,000. 16, add 3 zeros, would equal 16,000.